What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to a transfer news update. And we finally got a defender. You obviously saw the news or read about it, and if not, then well, we signed Veiga from Chelsea on a dry loan, and we are paying quite a lot of money for a loan until the end of the season, but not for the Club World Cup because he will go back to Chelsea just before the Club World Cup. You hear it correctly. That's what we're doing, and you can only describe it as a complete panic type of deal from Giuntoli after, and you can fairly criticize him because it's fairly to do so, even when you don't want him out. Like me, I'm not saying get him out at this stage, but what he did this January is a disaster. It's all about panic, and it's looking worse and worse and worse. But we're going to talk about it. Before we do that, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about this deal. Okay, so the deal is a dry loan. Let's say it's 4.5 million we pay for that dry loan. Some say 5, some say 4. So let's split the difference. Let's say 4.5. However, his wages are included, and his wages, let's be nice, is 500,000. So it's 4 million euros for the loan deal of Veiga until before the Club World Cup, basically. That's what we're doing. Now, if you criticize Giuntoli for this, basically, I think you care about the club. It's fair to criticize him. It's really fair to do so. January is not easy. It's not. However, you had months to prep. You knew what this club needed, what Malta needed, what this squad needed. To be in this position with a couple of days before a week, a bit more than a week, before the window closes, and you went from Antonio Silva to Sancho to Tomori to Araujo to back to Tomori to Kelly to Veiga on a dry loan, you messed up. That's the only takeaway. You messed up, and now you're panicking and getting a player in you don't really trust. Because if you do, you added the obligation with it because you needed a defender in the summer anyway. Now, what I appreciate is that we did not completely panic and did add an option into it, because it's clearly that you do not believe in this player. You don't, because otherwise he would have been your first option at the start of the window because he's relatively cheap and you would have closed that deal. You don't really believe in him. He's on the bottom of your list. He's on the bottom of your list after you got thrown away for all the other main options you had. That is a poor job when you had months to prepare for it. And to leave it this late as well makes it even worse. That is fair to say. That's okay to say. And that's okay to call him out for it, because otherwise you're just going to blindly follow the club and just going to accept everything they do, even though you know it makes no sense what they're doing. What Giuntoli is doing makes no sense right now. He's not really helping. Like, he's making, like, we loaned Alcaraz for, let's say, 5 million euros, Conceição for 7, now Veiga for 5, and there are no options to buy, no obligations to buy. Like, the obligation, fine, but there are no options to buy. You're just loaning players, and you're kind of burning away money with no return for it, basically. That is horrible business, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, On the player itself, I've not watched enough to suggest if he's going to help us. I don't know. However, we only have 2 center backs, so he's going to play. That we know. He's going to play because we have no choice. Because Gatti and Kalulu are going to pick up an injury at one point, or / they need a rest because they're playing week in, week out, Every 3 days, they're going to need a rest here and there. So he's going to play, and we will see if he's good enough. And if he turns out to be fantastic, then you pay the money for him. I guess there's no option. You're going to pay what Chelsea want. But my thing with the deal is, it's nothing against Veiga, by the way, because I've not seen enough to say he's crap, he's good enough, whatever. I have nothing against him. So I will give him a shot. Even if we bring in Kelly, I absolutely do not rate him, but I will give him a shot because I will call out Giuntoli for it, but I'm not going to call out the player for it, because the player, he can do absolutely nothing about it. So I'm going to support Veiga, and hopefully he does well, because we need help. That's that. However, the deal, the timing, the entire January window is not good enough. It's not being good enough. The Colomani situation is not being good enough. Being turned down so many times and sticking with it is a waste of time, and it's not being good enough. That's it. And that's fair to say. That's fair to say. That's Giuntoli's job. That's not Motta's job. That's not the player's job. That's his job. So you need to call him out for that, in my opinion. It's panic, and we will see if the panic will pay off. We will see. But right now, yeah, it's a weird situation because you lost Cabal, you lost Bremer, you pushed out Danilo, whatever. You told them to leave, and you bring in one defender. So just logically thinking, we're not there because you absolutely needed two. But are we going to get another one? I don't know. Do we actually want to get another one? Because are you going to throw another 5 million loan fee out of the window? Or are you going to panic completely and add an obligation to it? That's a very strange situation, we're in right now, that Giuntoli needs to navigate through and come out of that without making even worse decisions right now. Because every single penny you waste right now is going to feel like double in the summer, in my opinion. So I don't know what to say. I have absolutely don't know what to say. Giuntoli panicked. That's the only takeaway from it, because he wasn't really prepared for it, and it's extremely sad. It's extremely frustrating to witness. But we need to accept that, right now, in terms of you need to move on whilst holding him accountable, and hopefully it will come good, and support the player Veiga, and actually, I don't know, be relieved that Motta at least has an option. But I mean, how is Motta feeling at this moment in time as well, losing those players and then navigating through January, and then getting a player that probably wasn't high on your list as well, and you definitely know he's going to use him. Obviously, if he doesn't rate him at all, he would have probably told Giuntoli, do not waste your money on it, because I don't rate him and it's going to be pointless. So he rates him probably. It feels off. It feels off. That's the only thing I have to say. So you guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Veiga, the players? Obviously, that's one, because that's the most important thing. The deal we structured, with Chelsea, the loan thing and all. And also, do you think Giuntoli has failed? Because if not, and you can say if not, I actually want to know why you think he hasn't failed, because I want to understand. I really want to understand from somebody who's completely opposite of what I'm saying. I want to understand why you think he hasn't failed and he's done a perfectly fine job in January. So let me know in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and I will speak to you guys soon.